Fantasy baseball playoffs are here. I'm Dustin. This is Brent. Welcome to Fantasy Smack Talk. In this video, we're going to give you a little bit of advice for your playoffs and also give you some waiver wire guides to look at. But also don't forget, get into our football games and our forums just around the corner. Alright, let's talk about some advice. One of the biggest pieces of advice we can offer is if you're in a daily setup league, make sure on your bench you have a ton of position eligibility. Personally, I like to have a backup for every position. Every at-bat is so important. You can't afford to have guys taking off days. You need to have those guys on your bench ready to plug in when those off days come around.
And another quick tip is don't worry about dropping some more proven, slumping older players to pick up some young bats that are on fire right now. You know, baseball's certainly a roller coaster ride, so ride out the hot streaks of those younger guys, and you know, why wait around for a guy that's slumping? Get a guy in your lineup that's going to produce for you now. Alright, let's get into the waiver wire, and we're going to start off with a guy that Dustin was talking about. It's a perfect ad right now because he's got second and third base eligibility, and that's Neil Walker of the Pirates, owned in about 40% of leagues. Now, he does have that eligibility, however, in the last month, 340 with 5 home runs and 20 RBIs, also nice. Next guy on the list, we got Jay Bruce. Got to talk about him. In his last month, he's raised his average. He's now batting over 400 in that time frame with 8 home runs and 17 ribbies. Gotta love it.
Moving on, we got one of those young guys that Brent was talking about in Logan Morrison with Florida. And he's got a starting gig out there, and he's taking full advantage since getting called up, batting over 350 in the last month. He's got first base and outfield eligibility. Again, perfect guy to have on your bench. If one of your guys has an off day, plug him in. You know he's probably going to get you at least one hit. Moving on, we got Steven Drew, shortstop for Arizona, only on 75% of leagues. Good source of power in the last month. And another guy, shortstop, position eligibility. Keep him on your bench unless your shortstop has an off day. Plug him in. Might get you some power. All
right, let's start talking about some pitchers, and I got 2 starters for you. The first one's Carlos Zambrano of the Chicago Cubs. He's only owned in about 40% of leagues, and since anger management, the guy's been pitching pretty good. Sub-2 ERA, 4 wins, no losses, 30 Ks. Next on the list, we have Edwin Jackson. In his last month, a 2.19 ERA, 2 wins, no losses, and he's had double-digit strikeouts in 3 out of his last 4 games. I mean, those are just sick numbers.
That's pretty ridiculous. Moving on, we got 3 closers who we were shocked at how many leagues are still available in. You know, we're in the fantasy playoffs right now. If you're in a standard 5x5 league, saves is 1/10 of the category. So if you're looking for some saves, these guys are great guys to look at. We got Chris Perez, only owned in 65% of leagues. Guy's been on fire lately. Brandon Lyon, only owned in 50% of leagues. Looks like he's going to be the closer from Houston for the rest of the season. And Takahashi, only owned in 30% of leagues. Last month, been pitching great for the Mets. All 3 of these guys, great source of saves down the stretch if you're looking for some in your playoffs. So that's it for this week's show. Good luck in your matchups if you made it. And as always, get into our fantasy forums. We've got football just around the corner. We can't wait. I'm Dustin. This is Brent. We'll see you next time.